This is Brandon Cunningham for DialogShell.com. Today we're going to go over a brief tutorial on how to accept user input into the console. Let me go ahead and launch the IDE. There we go. This is my very first tutorial. I apologize. I'm probably not that good on the microphone, or I'm not showing my face on video because, quite frankly, I don't have a good camera just yet. Hopefully you can see my screen okay. We're going to go ahead and begin. We're going to say, first thing we need to do is we need to tell the user that we want their input. So we're going to say console write, please provide us some input. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say $A or cache A equals console read. Now a variable like this, cache A, is not just a variable in DialogShell. It's an entire object. And the object can represent a number of things. This could have represented an Active Directory user along with all of its attributes. It could have sub-properties. It could be a lot larger object than just one return. It can be an array. It can be an object with properties. Those are two primary things. It can also be a SQL statement return. It can be a lot of different things. It can be an enumeration of windows. Just depends on what you assign to it. But we're going to go ahead and say, okay, now that we've read in from the user, we told the user, hey, we want some input, and we got it. We're going to write back the input. So we're going to say console write cache A. Now, debugging a console script in DialogShell can't be done directly, or we'll give it a try here in a second, but I don't think it's going to go well. We'll probably be better off compiling it. We're going to say input console is what we'll save this project as. We're going to go ahead and try and debug it out to the debug window. Like I said, I'm not sure what's going to happen because, quite frankly, I haven't really tried this too often. But we're going to say debug. We can see that we didn't actually get anything in the console window here. I kind of expected something similar like that. And we see it did not echo return. Now, does that mean that it didn't work? I don't know. The piping back out to this window is a little bizarre. So let's go ahead and compile our project. We'll say compile. Okay, and it created that pill file that it's complaining about here because it couldn't find it. We'll say compile. We'll cheat to grab the window here. Actually, browse. Right click. That's actually not the correct folder. We wanted documents, Visual DialogShell, and then we're going to open a PowerShell window here. We're going to say input console.exe. Please provide some input. Hello world. And if all goes well, let's look over our instruction set that we gave this particular application. It should echo back to us hello world. And as you can see, it did, and then it promptly exited the application. So things that we need to review real quick is this console write, that is a command. A command is something that we provided the input object for, and our input object in this case was please provide us some input. It's a command because we told it to do something. A function is something where we expect a return. So we expect a return to be given to this $A or cache A object. So that makes this a function. Function should always be encapsulated in parentheses. If a function is inside of a string, you can designate that by having a $sign here. And then the function will work even if it's inside of quotations. That's how you're able to escape quotes in DialogShell. And then we wrote back out to the console write cache A. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is my very first video. I don't really do a lot of streaming, and hopefully you learned something. Thanks so much. DialogShell.com. These links will be available underneath the Learn section. Thanks again.